All right. Before I start the review, before we type in comments, because we're so clever with our comments, they got him, they got him. Yes, this is a fake comment that I wrote because this is I'm getting a couple of comments criticizing my critique. So I find out after I do the reviews that people don't like the newest Tomb Raider cartoon. I'm sorry. Your opinions are welcome. However, and let me say this: still think Trump is our best presidential candidate of 2024. Still think Tulsi's the best candidate for 2028, and maybe best served on Trump's cabinet. I still think Ghostbusters 2016 was garbage. I still think The Last Jedi was garbage. I was there, even in 4DX. The 4DX could not save this movie if it tried. So, to prevent the dogpiling, I'm going to watch those certain comments. So, you know what I'm talking about. So, we don't want the dogpiling. Because while I welcome other people's opinions and why you don't like the show, why you do like the show, like for example, the animation is not the top animation. I get it. It's more reminiscent of the DC direct animation from the late 2000s, early 2010s. That's the kind of animation that I expected. If this was a theatrical release in theaters, yes, that would be inexcusable. I mean, Star Trek Prodigy, right? We're talking about movies like that. I mean, there's better animation in this, right? In Star Trek Prodigy. Yet this got canceled along with He-Man. So I, I don't want people to sit there and think that I'm woke or what. Um, I get Melanie Mack's points of views. That's fine. I mean, if you're a Melanie Mack fan, just stay on her channel. I mean, we can both coexist on this planet and have different points of view. She has her points of views. I have mine. I think there's a couple of good Tomb Raider games from the past, and I like the isometric games, and I like the Survivor games. She does not. That's right. Maestro Drake is a well of other YouTubers. And also, too, I mean, the fact that Camilla's not back for this project, that sucks. So I will never give it the A pluses are the best I will give this. But having said all that, yeah, that's my facial reaction to the comments. But no, I'll be keeping an eye on the comments. You can have a difference of opinion. Look, I'm one of the few people that defend pixels. I defend pixels. Okay? That's just how I am. I will defend this movie. Okay, I had my reasons. So I'm gonna look at 3 and 4. I've looked at 3 and 4. We'll look at a preview clip, and then I'll talk about this. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. And anybody that says it's not okay to like something can go fuck off. Okay. So I was thinking about whether or not I should review the whole season, but you can thank the person in the last video. Thank them for the comment that it's not okay to like something. Now it's their fault. Now I will be reviewing all of season 1 or just series 1 of this. So you can thank that person because now I'm triggered as fuck because I don't like being told what to do and I don't like being told what to like. You know, it's like Marge Simpson and the Statue of David. Well, that's how cancel culture works. I never took the COVID-19 vaccine, so fuck you left and fuck you everybody else. Okay, that's how it is because that's how it is because that's how it fucking is. Now kindly shut the fuck up and get off my channel, or if you want to stick around, here is a preview clip for Tomb Raider episodes 3 and 4. And lastly, when it comes to future content, as Qui-Gon Jinn says,
Queen trusts my judgment, young handmaiden. You should too.
Couldn't wait 2 seconds. I saw another way. Round. What do you think the connection is? Knights Templar and the Light.
I'm not sure, but they killed a man deliberately to gain access to these catacombs. There's something here they needed.
Remember that deer stalker you used to wear?
Oh God, don't remind me.
And we'd...
so let's get the main spoiler out of the way. I did enjoy these 2 episodes. I have not looked at the negative reviews. Most of them are negative. Um, I am honestly not sure what people's expectations are. I am not hate watching this. I'm not peer pressure hate watching this or love watching anything. I'm I I never really had friends in high school. Maybe one of the reasons I never had friends in high school and went out to all the popular parties and clubs was because I never, when I hated The Last Jedi, I was never like, oh my God, this is woke. I never thought that in 2017. So I had my own reasons for not liking something. When I didn't like the last episode of Superman and Lois, I saw it as the two lowest rungs of the ladder, Christine Beppo and Kyle. Why does anybody care? I didn't think woke agenda. That's not what I was thinking. So I don't think it with this, okay? You have to understand before I talk about these 2 episodes is that with this is the Camilla Ludington Lara Croft, okay? However, voiced by a different voice actor. And because of that, so when she started out, she wasn't a Mary Sue exactly. She started out just fucking around. Like she was playing on her swings and monkey jungle gym in the backyard when she was a child. And she had her friend Camilla, which suspiciously, I'm not sure if Camilla was named after Camilla Ludington, but whatever. We'll talk about that in the episode 4. But she just messed around. And she went through the booty short era with being a teenager under Roth. And then they went on their first adventure, which took place before the first Tomb Raider game in 2013. And then we have the 3 games, and then we go after Shadow, and we get to this point. We get to these episodes. Now, I'm halfway through this, and so far, so good. Now, this is my honest opinion. You can tell when somebody's like, I like this stuff because fuck these haters, these anti-SJW. That's not what I'm doing. I promise you that. On your mother's vagina, you bring your mothers down here, I will tell your moms the same thing. That's not why I like the show. I like the show because it still feels like that Tomb Raider that I watched. Now, Melanie Mack doesn't like the show or the original or the 3 games. I know Arlo does. I think Arlo, the puppet, yes, the puppet counts. Arlo likes the games. I like the games. I still have them on my Steam Deck. I do not regret buying them on my Steam Deck. Angry Joe likes the games. I think he liked the first one more, the second one the most, and the third one not as much, but he still enjoyed the games. So there are some people, okay? The animation is whatever it is. It is kind of has a direct-to-DVD approach, but I still enjoyed DC, what is it, Justice League Apocalypse, Dark Apocalypse War. That's the kind of animation you're seeing. It's very similar to DC Comics from before the Tomorrowverse. So Lara Croft is now very experienced. She's at a Mary Sue point because she's done all the stuff that if you are a video game fanatic, and I'm assuming you are, you played through those 3 games. You know what she can do and what she can't do. There are some moments I wish were a little bit better, like the alligator coming out of the water. I wish it could have been done a little bloodier. Now, this is Living Midnight, the 3rd episode, in which Jonah is presumed dead because she finds his big Samoan necklace and the red box where the power gem is supposed to be in. It's not there. So what is happening is that she feels like she's killing everybody around her, okay? The thing that she's carried with her is that because Roth was like a second father to her after her father, right, Croft. And so Roth was the one that taught her how to do all the things that she does in the games and in this cartoon. And probably, in a different universe, the movies. So she gets into fights, right? She's doing all this stuff, but so she's doing all this stuff. So she blames herself for what happened to Roth. Her friend blames her for what happened to Roth. It's all about Lara, Lara, Lara. Jonah and Lara had had arguments in the video games, mostly about that. Lara she likes to go into danger. She likes to jump around and platform and do some pitfall, Super Mario jumping around and swinging on vines and getting into fights with wolves and tigers. And she doesn't think about herself or the people she hurts, or like she made big mistakes in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Okay, Rise. I don't remember the plot too well, but I mean the first game, she had to really, really learn how to really be on her own, because the Tomb Raider 2013, that's where she was on her own for the first time. Because before that, Roth was just giving her tutorials and she was touring the world. She was like careless. So she gets Jonah killed, but Jonah is found by Charles Devereaux, which is typical name. I don't know. I kind of don't like the Devereaux because it's always such a typical villain name. So he's kind of like the villain in the Da Vinci Code. Okay, they're looking for, so the search is for four stones, not just red and green. I don't know. I thought green was seduction, but you have power, and then you have the green one. I think is seduction. I think yellow one is betrayal, and the black one is wrath. Um, so whoever has these Jones, the four gems has ultimate power. It's a very typical uh get the four things. It's I kind of roll up my eyes about it, but it's almost unavoidable in a plot like Tomb Raider. You're going to have these things. Okay, how many tombs exist? As many as the story needs to make an interesting Tomb Raider story for Lara Croft. It's like, how many Indiana Jones stories can there be? As many as there are to make Indiana Jones get out of this lazy old ass and go out there. And I mean, like, I would say that it's probably better than the latest Indiana Jones movie, right? But anyway, so the third one, she meets Zip. Zip is, uh, he's into basketball. He plays basketball with his friends. He's got that Eddie Murphy light, maybe like Eddie Murphy Jr. I think Eddie Murphy has a son, right? But he's like Eddie Murphy, but like the black dude on MacGyver. The new MacGyver, the old the was it Lucas Till, that MacGyver. So he's like the black dude on MacGyver. He's like the black dude in um kind of like Chris Tucker and Eddie Murphy. So he's like that kind of guy. He's like that kind of dude. But he's the one that Lara talks to through her earpiece, which is very reminiscent of the 2000s, 1990s era of Lara Croft, in which she talks to someone. She does backflip. She does her. I want to see if this Lara Croft does her famous kickstand in the air. That's such an iconic move. I don't know if she's ever going to really do that. I hope she does, because that's a really cool move. There's some things I like about the old Lara Croft. I'm not completely like hating on it, because that's the original Lara Croft. However, minus the triangle tits. We have a nice bathtub scene, not much. And that's in episode 4. So episode 3, we're just dealing with Lara Croft trying to figure out the secrets of the four stones. And she gets the red stone, and with the power of the red stone, she has power, but she kills people. There's animal abuse. There's she confronts the owner of the red stone, who lets her go because the red stone had possessed her. It's a very straightforward one. So for Living Midnight, which is dealing with the red stone, the ruby, the ancient symbol of power, uh, power over things, power over her servants. I mean, the woman there who owns the stone that Lara steals the gem from. It's very, it's a heist episode. So I wouldn't say it's as good as the first two. For Living Midnight, I'm giving it a B plus. Also, Jonah's alive and is doing Charles Devereaux's bidding because of the green stone. So with the green stone, uh, perception, he's persuading Jonah to do his evil deeds. Okay, so a B plus for that. B plus for episode 3. So it's good to see that Jonah's not dead. That's her good friend. Maybe I want them to get married. Anyway, episode 4. So episode 3 was a simple heist story, getting that red stone from the woman. This one is about Camilla, her best friend that she knew for a while. Now, Lara Croft had held a lot of guilt uh, about that Camilla was jealous of her, and Roth told her that Camilla didn't want to be around her. I think the backstory is that Mr. Roth, her teacher, they had a divorce. There was an ugly divorce. So he was distant from his wife, and the mother, had custody of Camilla, so they went somewhere else. But he had told Lara that Camilla didn't want to see her anymore. But as Camilla told her, that Roth was afraid of commitments and family, so he just kept his nose in his work and tomb raiding. So that's what was happening. So, like, Camilla's in charge of Interpol's crime division. So Lara Croft breaks in. Of course, there's another heist thing going on. Zip, the guy here on to her left, is helping her out. So he's the main sidekick instead of Jonah, like what was in the games. So they're focusing more on Zip being the sidekick for these two episodes, and he does pretty well. I mean, it's just reminiscent of what the early 2000s Tomb Raider games were like, especially on the Xbox 360. I have those. Um, and so she meets Camilla. They talk it over, and eventually Lara convinces Camilla, "Don't bring your team. Let's you and I go to the church where Charles Devereaux's father was supposedly the custodian of the Yellowstone betrayal." Because the Yellowstone betrayal had connections to the diocese, to the Pope of the Renaissance period, and how the Pope's clergymen had turned against him once they had the Yellowstone. They still wanted to conquer the West. They had they had like they had clear motivations of the Inquisition, like when they took away Anahuac from the Native Americans, my ancestry, and gave it to Christ and the conquistadors, but they didn't serve God anymore. So that's a whole thing in which they betrayed the Pope, but they still wanted to conquer the West. So that was the whole thing with the Yellowstone. They don't find the Yellowstone, but the Yellowstones are in Iran. So it's a very kind of kind of not directly going to the point of it, but I still enjoyed it because Lara Croft had her personal demons. Now there's a lot of crying in it, but I feel like the crying, very rarely is it overdone. But I think that she's still a woman who feels. I mean, she's not Captain Marvel. She's not going to be like, I don't feel feelings. Yeah, she feels things. And she still does dumb shit. I mean, does Lara Croft do stupid shit? Yeah, of course she does. That's who she is. That's what it's all about. What is it? Camilla says, why is your life always so dramatic? And it's like, I don't know, that's just who I am. But that's Tomb Raider, right? So I really enjoyed that Camilla and Lara really bonded over all those years lost. Lara could have been a part of Interpol. I mean, in a different reality, they would have worked together in Interpol, and Lara would have defected because Interpol is full of shit, and she'd be like, "Oh, I can't trust Interpol. I'm going to go on my own." So she still would have been Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider, but you know, but all those years they didn't get to spend together because of her father, Camilla's father, and maybe even Lara's father to another degree. It's like it was such a great scene that they reunited, and I really enjoyed it. So I don't hate on it. Some things feel a little overdone, the fist bumping, but I think it's such a good episode, and I'm still going to give uh, Big Sisters. Is it Big Sisters Little Secrets? I'm gonna give it an A minus. Actually, it's Big Lies Small Secrets. Big Lies Small Secrets. I'm gonna give it an A minus. I enjoyed it a little more than the third episode. It didn't have a lot of big plot. It wasn't directly like conquering the bad guy or anything like that. A little less spectacular, I would say, than the second episode, but still good. Lara is still Lara. Lara is still Lara. Okay. And I still enjoyed the Angelina Jolie movie. So that's me. Okay. This is me liking and disliking things for my own reasons. And as Star Wars Theory says, please, everybody, respect each other's opinions in the comments section. Why you liked it, why you didn't like it. And that's all there is to it. Everyone is welcome. And anybody that tells anybody how to think and how to feel, you are Thanos snapped.